I mean, front row seats are $40 to, or not, sometimes not even. They're like 30. You know, get them on sale. They're $30 or less for a front row seat to a Ring of Honor wrestling show. You can't beat that, really. But, all right, go ahead, Brad.
Nigel answered this question last week, and we wanted to ask you the same thing. Name a name from any company that you think is the future of professional wrestling.
Oh, wow.
And I'm really not handpicking these, I promise.
Well, there's so many you could name. The future of pro wrestling. Well, shoot, just about most of the Ring of Honor crew, I think, have great careers ahead of them. This is hard. You guys forget I've been hitting the head a lot. Jeez.
Well, if it helps, Nigel last week, and this made me happy as a fan of this person, he said that John Cena was heads above heels probably the future of professional wrestling as a business. He said that or Randy Orton. So now that. Oh yeah,
Randy Orton's come a long way. I wrestled him when he was still in Ohio Valley, and he's really come a long way. So he's one of them, yes.
Okay. That was a hard question. I know we don't like putting you on the spot, but yeah.
That is being put on the spot. There's so much great talent out there. It's hard to tell. You know, a lot of it's timing. A lot of it's if someone in the right position takes a liking to you. There's so many factors to factor in.
Well, let's try tweaking that a little bit and seeing what you think about. If you could picture someone in your head that you would like to see as the future of professional wrestling, who would it be?
Oh, great. Thanks a lot. I have no idea. Let's not tweak that.
All right.
Let's not tweak that, he says. Okay. How much do you think, Andy in our chat wants to know, how much do you think you helped the X Division along during your time at TNA? You worked with them a lot in the early days. How much do you think you helped them?
Well, it just depends if guys wanted to soak in what I've learned along the way and what I tried to teach people, because some people will take it and run with it, and some people will go in one ear and out the other and say, what does that old guy know?
Okay, well, I guess some people would look at it like that. On another note, he wants to know, is Jeff Jarrett an easy to get along with guy behind the scenes? There's a lot of rumors about Jeff Jarrett as a businessman. Now, I don't want you to burn any bridges, but I mean...
Oh, that bridge is already burned.
All right.
Just, like in other big companies, if someone within power likes you, then you're written in. If not, you're done.
Okay.
That's what it really all amounts to there.
That was a fair answer. Another question as it relates to that, how great of a boss was Paul Heyman besides the business aspect?
Oh, he's really good. The guy was great at showcasing everyone's strengths and hiding their weaknesses. And like people have seen on the ECW movie, he's great at the pep talks before a pay-per-view and stuff. I mean, he'll get you to go out there and just about give him a human sacrifice. So he was a great boss to work for.
Okay.
As far as very charismatic and he'd pat you on the back and tell you a good job instead of just negative stuff all the time and bitching at you all the time.
Okay.
I want to tell you this. We had talked to Nigel last week about word association, which isn't going to happen, but we had talked to Nigel about it and what he thought about it, and the very first name on my list was going to be Jerry Lynn, and he said he really didn't like word association, and that there was a possibility the first word that would come to mind would be syrup. So you were almost compared to syrup last week. Just wanted to let you know that.
Syrup? What would syrup be?
You know how usually in an interview when you throw out a name and like AJ Styles and you wait for somebody to, oh, great God, amazing in-ring talent, blah, blah, blah. He made the comment that, I can't really answer a question like that because the first thought that comes to my head might be syrup.
Okay.
So there was almost a Jerry Lynn syrup comparison there last week.
Well, next time I see him, I'll have to ask him. I'll have to tell him, sorry, I heard you think I'm sticky sweet.
My final question is purely, where do you see Jerry Lynn in 10 years?
Retired from wrestling, and I don't know if I'll need hip replacements or whatever. I'm just hoping my thumbs work so I can still play video games.
Great answer.
Great answer.
That was great. My final question before you get your final words in. I wanted to know, and well, I'm sure the forum would too. No one actually asked this question. What did you think of the movie The Wrestler? You had mentioned it before. What did you think of the movie itself and how it portrays life for a veteran on the indie scene?
Oh, I think it came to the closest movie about wrestling ever made. It was pretty right on. I thought if it wasn't about one particular wrestler at a particular moment in his career, they could even got more into the nittier and grittier side of the business because they had barely touched on that. Because I've had a lot worse locker rooms than he had. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and as far, I've heard people say, "Oh, the ending sucked." The ending's what you make it to be. If you thought the guy didn't have a heart attack and he went on to win, great. And if you thought he did and he died, well, it's the ending's all what you make it to be.
And I think that's what made that ending so amazing is they just left it there. And
yeah,
that's why people were like, well, that was sad, or that sucked, they didn't show anything. Well, that's what makes it such a great ending is that they let you draw your own conclusion.
Exactly.
Well, Jerry, we appreciate you coming on. I figured, you've been on here for 40 minutes. Obviously, I know you're with your family, so I'm sure you'd like to go spend time with them. Was there any last words, any plugs, and anything you'd like to say? Feel free to.
Oh, well, when I'm not procrastinating, I try and keep my schedule updated at jerryfnlynn.com. And that's about it. I just, I'm still having a great time, and I really don't want to quit anytime soon, but my body's telling me my window's starting to close. So I'll hang out as long as I can.
So a Jerry Lynn retirement is probably on the horizon?
Not anytime soon, but it's getting there.
That's good. One last thought. It was just brought to my attention. Time Warner has pulled HDNet. What do you think that means for Ring of Honor as a company right now?
Oh, well, it just, I don't know if that'll have any bearing on us. It'll be less exposure on whatever cable systems we're on, but as long as we keep HDNet happy, that's the main thing, and they're happy with the product. And
okay.
As long as we keep them happy and they're happy with it, I don't think it matters if they lose viewers or gain them. So hopefully they'll just be keep on being happy with the product and keep us afloat.
Okay. All right. Well, Jerry, thank you for joining us on the Weekly Wrestling Wrap-Up. You were a wonderful guest.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Yep. Check Jerry Lynn out on Ring of Honor on Saturday nights, and obviously any indie local show he said he might show up at. So you never know. Just go to an indie wrestling show. You might be sitting next to Jerry Lynn. All right. Take it easy, sir. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.